I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush. Cause I'm top shelf, I ain't got wealth. But I'm on my grind like park rails. I'd sell the shoes right off my 2 feet. Then add one, that's a yard sale. Got dumb bars that be smarter than Harvard, Yale. Take your pictures elsewhere. You wanna be TMZ, I wanna be VIP. Quit pandering, I'm not answering. Cause I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. All of that bark and no bite, that's alright. Not everyone can be the big dog. Take a walk, kick rocks. Can't keep me out cause I pick locks. They hearing me knocking, I'll never be stopping. I keep this shit popping like lip gloss.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to your Tuesday night edition of Unscripted live here on the All Sports All Plays Network, as well as Unscripted. I'm your host, producer, moderator, whatever you want to call it tonight, Logan Landers, and joining me, my fellow co-host, it's our boy, Gonzo, Chris Gonzales. What's going on, brother?
I know a whole lot. How you doing tonight?
Hey, can't complain, man. Can't complain. The Braves had a walk-off last night.
Yeah, I saw that.
A win again against the Giants, who were looking really good. And yeah, man, it's been going a lot of wrestling in the news for not really good reasons, but it's interesting to say the least. But yeah, man, I've been doing good. Of course, hey, if you guys enjoy the show tonight, if you have anything to chime in on, please put it in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live 3 times a week: Tuesdays, Thursdays, 7 o'clock Eastern, and Saturdays at 8. And like I said, we cover every single sport known to man pretty much. I'm sure there's a few out there we haven't gotten to yet, Chris. I know we haven't gotten badminton yet, but I think that's on the schedule on the dock for next week, so we will get there eventually. But let's get into our first topic tonight. The Stanley Cup Finals, right? The NBA Finals wrapped up about a week ago. Saturday, give or take. So now all of the sports world should be at least interested in the Stanley Cup Finals right now. At the moment, Colorado, the Avalanche lead 2-1 in the series. Game 4 is tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard, so check that out. But Chris, what do you think so far? Like I said, the Avalanche, the young plucky team, right, are trying to take down Goliath, take down the 2-time straight defending champs, going for a 3-peat. Do you think Colorado's going to get the win in Game 4, get that 3-1 lead, or do you think the Lightning can even it up?
Oh man, well, when the series started, I took Avalanche in 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then the way the Avalanche jumped up on the Lightning in the first 2 games, and just how dominant Colorado looked, I was like, this isn't going to go 7 games.
Yeah.
I said I was still going to stay with my pick, but now after the way Tampa looked last night, now it's starting to look a lot like that New York Rangers series did, where Tampa lost the first 2 games, fell down, and then came back. So I'm still going to stay with Colorado in 7, just because I think their speed and their offense, or just their offensive firepower, puts so much pressure on the other team's defense. And usually their goalie's been pretty solid most of these playoffs, but he did struggle last night, of course.
Right.
But you're going to have a bad game every once in a while, and he's had a lot of good games in a row. So, but I think I want to say Avalanche are going to win this next game just because I feel like they're the better team. But Tampa has a lot of momentum after that game last night.
Yeah, and like you said, Tampa did get the win last night, 6-2. So, I mean, that was a very vital bounce-back game, I feel, because then they would have been down 3-1 at that point. So that was a good win for them. They scored a lot of goals. And I'm with you. I still think the Avalanche are going to win this series. I know Jay is rocking with the Lightning. But I'm with you. I just think the speed and the youthfulness is going to rely more. It's going to help out Colorado. Of course, we all know that Tampa's got the top-tier players and the experience to boot, right? But I don't know. I just think this is Colorado's year. And, we can finally be like, man, someone finally took down the Lightning, right? 2 out of 3 still ain't bad, right? We'll see what they can do. Like I said, Game 4 is tomorrow. Let's keep moving on here, Chris. We got our next topic here. the College World Series, right? We're still got some baseball going on, of course. And I know all the hype for college sports is typically for March Madness with basketball and whatnot, but we do have the College World Series of baseball rocking right now, getting near the end. Only a few teams left. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Auburn, Arkansas, and Ole Miss are the only 5 teams left remaining. So we are almost to the finals. But Chris, how has it been keeping up with some of the College World Series, and how do you think this is going to turn out with only a few teams left?
Oh, it's College World Series has been real entertaining this year. You had, I think, only one or two of the top 8 teams even make it to the World Series. They got put up. Most of them got put out in the super regionals and stuff. So the whole postseason, all the stages to get to the World Series has been real good.
Mm-hmm.
You had Notre Dame lose to Texas A&M today and get eliminated.
Yep.
And then there's one more game tonight, and it'll be down to 4 teams.
Yeah, Arkansas and Auburn played. Actually, they're playing right now at 7:00. So
yeah, I watched Arkansas play a couple nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching quite a bit of it because Notre Dame, of course, being here in Indiana, they're making a run.
Yeah, I bet they made it pretty far though. I mean, they got all the way to Omaha. Couldn't get it all the way though, man. But like I said, still making it to a top 10 team is still impressive. And like you mentioned, a lot of the big name teams, a lot of the high ranked teams got knocked out super early, which was weird to see. So I mean, you have Oklahoma who's not ranked. Go ahead.
I think Texas A&M's the only well, I know they're the only top 8 seeded team or ranked team left.
Right.
I think they might be the only ranked team left.
Let me check real quick. Auburn. Well, let's see. Auburn is ranked 14.
Okay.
So Auburn, if they win tonight, then they'll. But if Auburn loses, then that means A&M is the only ranked team left, which is wild. So we'll see. Like I said, the Final Four will happen. Those games are tomorrow, right? So I mean, that's the thing I like about both the March Madness and this is that you get games pretty much every single day. And then after
whoever wins like tonight and Texas A&M earlier, they have to win 2 games in a row now to make it to the championship.
Yeah, because we know it's a 3-game series. Win 2 and you're in. So it's going to be super interesting. But the College World Series itself kicks off June 25th.
What I was saying though is that the Texas A&M has to beat who they play tomorrow, Oklahoma, I think.
Yes, Oklahoma.
They have to beat them twice, but Oklahoma only has to beat Texas A&M once.
Right. So I mean that's also a good thing too. They got those double limbs. Yep. It just makes it more interesting. But yeah, so come I believe Saturday we'll be on top, getting ready for the actual College World Series, the final 2 teams. That is June 25th, 26th, and if necessary, the 27th. All of them on ESPN, so you're able to watch it. And like I said, we'll see who's going to advance and who's going to be the king of college baseball. So far, like I said, it's been a really good run so far for all these teams, and we'll see what they do.
If you like old school baseball, that's more of what college is. You still see some small ball played. It's not just all home runs and strikeouts. So if you like old school baseball, college is a fun game to watch.
Yeah, you do see a lot of strategy in play, and I mean, granted, there are some games I would just glance at and be like, oh, well, it's 15-13 here.
Pitching is struggling.
Pitching has struggled really the whole year for a lot of teams. But I mean, hey, we go to baseball games to see some offense, right? And that's definitely what we're getting in college. So we'll see what these games can turn out with tonight. And then in the very, very immediate future, right, we'll be talking again on Thursday, talking about the final few teams. Speaking of keeping it baseball, we love it here. Jeter Downs, one of the top prospects for the Red Sox, got called up today. Red Sox are, they're not doing great, but they're not completely down in the mud quite yet. They're looking for a spark, so they're going with the 23-year-old from Colombia, someone who has been highly rated, highly recruited, and everyone's been wanting to see what this guy can do. He's been doing really good so far throughout his tenure in the minors, and I think that it's going to help out the Red Sox for this stretch here they got coming up. But what did you think about this, Chris? Were you surprised to see him get called up, or did you think they were going to wait maybe till the end of the year?
I was surprised a little bit, but then when I was reading the way they're talking, that he might only be on there for this series. till a couple of people get back from injuries. But they said they do think that he's going to get to play either tonight or tomorrow, so that he will get to play in this series. But I just would like them to wait till they're going to bring him up and leave him up, and give him an opportunity, not just bring me up for one series. Maybe he'll get a chance to play and he'll play real well, and not give him a choice, but to give him a little bit longer. But from what I read, they said he might only be up for this series.
Yeah, we'll see. And I mean, also let's not forget too, Chris. I mean, I was looking more about him. The Reds did draft him back in 2017. Let's not forget. Yep. But then obviously, they traded him. But so I mean, his minor league stats, I'm looking at here on Baseball Reference, not super impressive in terms of hitting, right? So collectively in 5 seasons, his batting average is only 240. He's gotten 442 strikeouts, which it might sound like a lot, but in 5 seasons, it's not really. And he's also gotten 202 walks, which you like to see. Steals a bad good bit, though. He's got almost 100 stolen bases throughout his tenure, which is a little bit you don't see a lot of nowadays. And a decent amount of strength, 68 home runs in his career, 200-plus RBI. So, like you say, this might just be for a temporary time just for this upcoming series until they get some more guys back. Because I don't see it quite yet that someone who's not hitting that great would be ready for the big leagues. But I can definitely see him getting called back up in September for sure.
And he's real strong defensively.
Yeah, he's a really good defensive guy, and that's his main kind of attribute there. So I think as long as his batting can get a little bit better, right, getting about those 260s, that you could deal with. So yeah, I mean, just do that, and he can get you a little bit of pop. He can steal some bags. Nothing wrong there. So I think this guy will do good for the Red Sox in the short term. Hopefully, he can ball out, and I think we'll see him again in September for sure. Going to basketball, Chris. Going on to some basketball. One of Jay's favorite players you talk about all the time. PJ Tucker declined his option, is going to be a free agent. So, where is one of the more coveted 3-and-D defenders, right? We all know what he did with Milwaukee, what he did with Miami. So, where is this guy going to land up? Where do you think would be a great fit for him?
Man, I don't know. I think maybe you can see him end up maybe with the Lakers or somebody like that. Somewhere he's going to go to somewhere, I think, where he thinks he has a chance to win their championship. I mean, at this point in his career, if he's not going to go for something like that, I would see him retiring. I mean, he's not going to want to go to a team that's rebuilding.
Yeah, I don't blame you there, but like I say, he's a veteran. He's been around the league for quite some time. He's 37, going to be 38 in May before the next season. So I think that, he's definitely not going to go to a team who is rebuilding, who is just trying to make the playoffs. He's going to go to a team who is going to probably for sure be in the playoffs and just elevate that even more. Maybe like a Chicago, right? They had a good run, but just kind of fell off towards the end. Yeah. That would be good. I saw that the 76ers were also linked to potentially getting him. That would be a good fit as well, coming off the bench for them. So I think maybe the Sixers would be, I think really both of those teams, honestly, the Sixers or the Bulls. I think more maybe the Bulls just because I mean, they got a good core with some guys who aren't rookies, right, but not really vets per se, like PJ is. But I think he would fit in nice there. Just fit in and play his brand of basketball, which is, hit a few threes, irritate people on defense, and just, cause a ruckus. And, I mean, that's what he needs to do. He's going to sign for cheap. Obviously, he knows this. And, I mean, hey, why not try and get another ring, right?
If I'm Milwaukee, I'm giving him a call.
Trying to get back?
Because I think they really missed him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was kind of the grit. He was kind of the grit to that team. He
was, and you mentioned the Lakers too, because I mean they're going to be signing guys for cheap. I mean he's not going to be a real big name. I mean obviously his name has value, but he's not going to sign for a whole lot of money. He's just trying to get that ring. And the Lakers are going to have a lot of free caps, or not free cap space, but a lot of open roster spots. We'll say. So, I mean, I'm sure they're about to start getting rid of pretty much the whole team except for maybe 5 guys.
And they're going to have to fill. They're going to have to fill those spots. At least a couple of those spots with lower paid guys because of their salary cap.
Yeah, and I mean, that's all they need really. They don't need a bunch of veterans and whatnot. I mean, I'm not saying that PJ Tucker won't be a good fit, but they just need guys who can shoot the ball a little bit. That's pretty much so LeBron can or Westbrook can throw it out to him, knock down some shots. That's what you need. You don't need, Carmelo Anthony, who, he had a decent season, but you don't need that. You don't need Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? You just need some guys who are, and that's where they're going to get some of the cheap guys, some of the guys who are that 10th man on the roster who are leaving their team, who are going to go and probably go over there just for the glitz and glamour, say, hey, I can play for the Lakers. Because, they had some guys who they signed last year who were doing pretty good and who really helped out into the season, right? They signed Johnson, right? Stanley Johnson. He did good for them towards the end. And they're going to get those guys who are kind of on their last leg, right? Just trying to really kind of keep their NBA dreams alive or just try and get a ring. And we'll see where PJ can go. But before we end this topic, we were bringing on another special guest. Everyone, welcome Pride. What's going on, brother?
The intro.
What's up,
Thank
Pride?
you. Thank you. I feel special. Thank you. Did you ever make me feel special? Gee
Thank you.
whiz.
We try.
Oh,
Also, our boy Jay McLovin saying on the road, but want to stop by. He's a good pickup forever due to his defense.
We're talking about PJ Tucker?
Yeah, we're talking about PJ. Where do you think PJ is going to go?
Oh, see, that kind of really depends on what stage of his career. Well, does he still really care for a ring, or at this point is he playing for the love of the game? That's really what it comes down to.
I would think a ring because he's been on, like you said, he was with Milwaukee. They got the ring there. Miami was a contender this year, right? They were the number 1 seed. So I wouldn't think he would go for just a random team who just so he can get some playing time. I think he knows he's going to be a bench piece. We mentioned the Lakers, the Sixers, the Bulls. Do you think any of those teams would be a good fit, or do you have another one in mind?
I'm okay with the Bulls and the Sixers. I like that. For me, the Lakers doesn't make sense. That's just me. I think the Lakers don't need to get older. I think they need to go the opposite way. So I wouldn't say Lakers. Another team I would probably throw out a reunion in Milwaukee because you can make an argument that his defense was kind of missed some. So you could make that argument.
That's what I said too.
You know what I mean? Like honestly, man, I'll be honest. Like, a reunion in Milwaukee could be something that to keep your eyes open. Honestly, just like what he does, and the fact that there's a lot, like he's willing to come off the bench, I think that's huge because that shows you he's not a guy that's gonna come out and be like, yeah, I demand this, I demand that. He's gonna be open, and just you being open, teams are willing to work with you. So honestly, I think a lot of championship teams will keep their eyes on him just because of the fact that he's open to come off the bench.
Right, and like I said, he's going to be 38 by the time the next season starts. He's going to, he's obviously at the end of his career. He's maybe got this year and maybe 1 or 2, right? So he ain't got much longer left. Like you mentioned, it's a big factor that he's not going to be like, oh, I need to be a starter, right?
Right.
All that. He's taking on that Iguodala type of role where he'll play his minutes, he'll do what he needs to do.
Exactly.
And that's it. That's all you need. That's what you need on teams. That's what you need on championship teams.
And that's perfect because I think he understands that. So let's say there's games that he doesn't play because of his age, he'll still bring that leadership presence.
Right.
So I honestly I think a lot of teams will be open for him. But don't be surprised. Another team that no one's really bringing up, the Clippers. I think the Clippers would very much make a run for him because honestly, I think they're sleepers for Kyrie Irving. I really do.
I think everyone just kind of forgets about the Clippers just because Kawhi and Paul George were out this year. You know what I mean? So they just kind of took a back seat. No one's really even talking about them. But, they're going to be healthy. And they're going to be, I think people forget how good they were in recent years by getting those 2 guys. And they've got some good pieces over there, too, some young guys. So I think that he's got a lot of options to choose from, obviously. And like I said, we'll see in the coming days, weeks, and months where PJ Tucker goes. Obviously, one of the best shoe games in the league as well. His collection is quite impressive. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, no. Come on, bro. I think, was it last year? Last year, somebody made a Twitter for his shoes. And it literally said PJ shoes.
Just PJ shoes.
Yeah, that was the Twitter. And then because I guess last year, for some reason, every other game, he came out with, new shoes. And he debuted some new ones. Yeah, he debuted some new ones and whatnot. But yeah, somebody made a Twitter for his shoes. And then the Twitter, and I swear to God on my mother, if I'm lying, God come for me. This dude, whoever made that Twitter, real talk, not only put the shoes, but put his stats. And then 4 times a year, they did like a quarterly thing and would basically tell you which color shoes he was like, his stats was. It was insane, bro. It was hilarious.
I found a Google photo here of just his collection, and I know this isn't all of them, obviously, but I mean that's a lot. Like, bro's got different colors and sizes for everything, multiple pairs of the same. Like, that's what he's spending all his money on, right? If we all know if he ever goes broke, that's why.
Can I be honest? I'm be honest with PJ Tucker. I'm convinced, because I think he's married. I'm convinced his wife is the one who pays all the bills.
You think so?
And I'm convinced that he sat down and had a conversation with her, and he said, "Babe, can I play so I can buy shoes?" And I'm convinced she said yes. And I'm convinced that PJ Tucker is hooping to get money to buy more shoes. At this point, nobody can tell me any different, because there's no way you're wearing a new set of. His shoes aren't even creased, bro. Like, these are shoes that he's buying game day and then put them on. I'm convinced he's only playing to get a check, and those checks get directly deposited to Foot Locker or Champs or wherever he gets his shoes. So that way he can he's got stored credit. I'm convinced. I really am.
I'm looking at articles here. So he has a pair of Air Jordan 1s that are diamond encrusted, worth $250,000.
Like, why? Like, why, man? Why?
That is insane. The shoes look great. I mean, don't get me wrong. They better be for that much money. But Giannis said, he's got a quote here, he said, "This guy today, he wore $250,000 pair of shoes. He said he had real diamonds in them, I swear to God." Jesus. Well, hey, congrats, PJ. That's why he's still playing, fellas. He's got to get that money for his habit. Come on. I'm just saying. All right, Brad, these are your boys here. We talked about it a little bit on Saturday. But if you have more time to think about it, what do the Celtics, or do they even need to make any moves this offseason? We'd mentioned another big man. We'd mentioned a point guard. You had mentioned some names like Ricky Rubio, and also some bigs. Do you have any other names in mind, or do you have any other positions of need that y'all need to fill to get back to the finals this upcoming year?
Honestly, that's really it. Honestly, I think our team right now, where we are, I think we basically have, most of the stuff we need. Like I said, I do think we do need a big man, and honestly, I would prefer a younger big man, so that way we don't have to rely on Al Horford as much. So, I sound like we can get anyone in the draft, so we're gonna have to kind of settle for whoever's in free agency, and also at the same time, also a guard who we can have out there. Because look, like I said, Marcus Smart trying to be the point guard, I like it, I really do. But the problem is, he'll have 5 plays where he does the point guard thing and it looks good, and then all of a sudden he then follows it up with like 5 possessions where 3 missed shots, 2 turnovers, and then all of a sudden the momentum we had from that next run we had is zapped. So for me, it's like Jason Tatum plays best when he has ISO ball. Same thing with Jaylen Brown. So it's like, if we want to put everyone in the best comfortable position, we would need a guard. And like I said, we don't need, and like the players that we need don't need to be max players. Like I said, I would love DeAndre Ayton, of course, but if we don't get him, and we get a guy like JaVale McGee, maybe if the Grizzlies don't want him anymore and they let go of Steven Adams, we get a guy like him. Like, we just need, to add a little more size that, we can rely and depend on, And honestly, man, I don't think we need to add all that much, So it's not like we got to break the bank. We don't have to go with, obviously we have to pay some guys, but, a lot of the guys we have to pay is to retain. It's retention payment is what we're doing. You know what I mean? So, like I said, man, get us another big man, to alleviate some of the pressure off Al and get us a legitimate point guard. And I honestly, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think so too. And like I said, we'd mentioned they need another big, and a veteran point guard, or even just honestly a true point guard. Because like you'd mentioned that you don't really have that per se. And I mean, you don't need no one to go out there and score 30 a night. You just need someone who can give you some assist and drive to the hoop. Nothing too crazy. And then for the vets at the big, I mean, like I said, Al Horford's still chilling, but you could always find some more talent there. And I think, like I said, the Celtics don't need a big name player. They just need some other small role players to go in there, do their job, and I think that might take them over the top. That's all you need.
Exactly.
That's all you
We just need solid role players who know their role.
Right.
That's it. We don't need anyone trying to prove a point like a Miles Bridges. We don't need him. We don't need a guy like Bradley Beal who's going to come and try to pretend that he's still that guy. We don't need that. We need guys who know their role and will play well.
Chris, what do you think?
No, I agree with you guys. If they can get more of a true point guard and then get another big man, I think the Celtics are going to be right back there where they were this year. I'd heard the name Malcolm Brogdon going to the Celtics.
That could be fine. I mean, I know
Right.
for Rookie of the Year, right? Is he still
Right.
with the Pacers?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
And again, this is yet another guy, right? Another guy who not only can run the floor, plays great defense, and can get us a bucket. And you know who else I wouldn't mind getting, if possible? Patty Mills. Yeah, we're sacrificing defense.
Brought him up too.
You know, and I had someone yell at me like, "Oh my God, that's a bad choice." And it's like, if you think that's a bad choice, that's because out of the warehouse. Because we need a legitimate point guard. What's Patty Mills? Oh yeah, a legitimate point guard.
Yeah,
And then
experience.
not only that, he's experienced. He's got leadership. And guess what? If you need a bucket, Patty Mills can give you that bucket.
Right.
So if our team is cold and we're going on our cold stretches where we can't score nothing, we now have another option in Patty Mills who can penetrate and get contact. We got a guy, and again, this is a Patty Mills who is not an all world player. He's just a solid rotational player who understands his role, and that's honestly all we need. You know,
Nothing crazy. I don't blame you. But yeah, like I said, the Celtics are already in good position to make it back to the finals, potentially win it. And like I said, we'll see what they can do this offseason. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot, but I think that the moves they make are going to make a big impact in the 22 season.
Yes, sir.
All right. Speaking of making impacts, more golfers are leaving the PGA Tour to join Live Golf. The Saudi-backed just game there out there. And today we learn Brooks Koepka is leaving. Also, Abraham Ancer, who is the 20th ranked golfer in the world, he's also leaving. There's rumors that the number 4 player in the world, Colin Morikawa, is going to be leaving too.
Yep.
So what do y'all think about this? Is the PGA Tour going to be going a little bit downhill? Because we all learned that, that if you're leaving on the tour, they're basically banning you from the PGA.
Yes.
So do you think any other big names are going to be leaving? Or, I mean, this is kind of crazy to see. Because, like, these are well-known players. This isn't just, like, the 99 out of 100. I mean, these are really good guys. I mean, Phil Mickelson, for God's sake. Dustin Johnson.
I was about to say, like, Phil Mickelson was one of the first ones to leave.
Yeah.
And Phil Mickelson kind of publicly was like, hey, guys, come on over. The water's fine. Like, he was one of the first guys to, like.
With as much money as they're paying these guys, guaranteed, by the way. I mean, that's just contracts, not even winning tournaments, right? It said the PGA, I think.
Yeah.
PGA said they're going to up their prize pool for some upcoming tournaments, which good. They need to at this point. But this is going to be kind of crazy to see.
Dude, it's insane. And I just think I love how it's 3 letters live, like, LIV. Because it reminds me of the WWE, who's soaked in that Saudi blood money. So it's nice to see Saudi step their game up and be like, wait, you thought we were playing fake sports? Nah, brother, we're in real sports, bro. We're only 5 years away.
We're taking over.
Bro, we're 5 years away from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown saying, yo, bleep this, Luka, let's go. And then they're going to Saudi. We're a few years away. But here's my concern with the PGA. This is honestly my concern. Can you make an argument that even though they're going to start raising and if I'm not mistaken, Logan, check me. I know they're raising the prize pool for the next tour. I don't know if they're raising it for the rest. I think they're only doing it for that one.
Let me see.
Or maybe they haven't, because I could have sworn I read something that so far the only thing that was planned is them raising it just for this upcoming one, and that's it. They're not raising it for the rest.
I see an article here. I'm just going to skip through this. PGA Tour met with its players Tuesday to unveil a series of proposed changes aimed at safeguarding it from the emerging threat of Live Golf. The purses for the 3 global. Hold on, let me make sure this is. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So the purses for the 3 global events are expected to be worth at least it just says $36 million that Live Golf offers. So it sounds like they're going to match it, if not have it even higher. So yeah, because it says, yeah. So they're bringing the money up for. Okay, hold on. So PGA Tour attempted to sweeten its offer to players by increasing the prize money at its showpiece events such as Genesis, Arnold Palmer Invitations, Players Championships, yada yada, to at least a 29 million. The total prize money for those 8 events that they have, combined with 3 global events they're going to run with, is about 340 million. And it's only, it says here, about 14.5 million shy of Live Golf for an entire season. So just for those 8 events, they're giving all the money that Live would give for a whole season in 8 events. So that's smart. I mean, they have no other choice, honestly.
Well, and with Live, Dustin Johnson signed a contract for guaranteed money to make more than what Tiger Woods is made in golf.
His career. Yeah, because I think Johnson's was what, like, I don't remember the exact number. It was like 100-something million, maybe more. Like, it was a ton of money.
I think that, and I think eventually, before too long, you'll see PGA lift that ban because they're going to lose too many players.
I think so. It's just that they're in that phase right now that they don't want people to leave.
Well, they don't want to lose their monopoly over golf.
Yeah, because I mean, they are the premier. I mean, for forever, right? They were the only spot to go to make big money, and that's like saying that it's the equivalent of, like, if another racing company came by and took over NASCAR. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We've just never seen this happen, and I mean they're already, like I said, getting a lot of big players, bringing them a ton of money. And like I said, we'll see how long this can run for, right? Because eventually that money's going to run out.
And so last place in tournament got paid $180,000 to get last.
That's not.
Hey, sign me up, brother.
100%. But here's the thing, like,
that's a lot of money for last.
Well, not only is that a lot of money for last. Like, think about it. The PGA is now gonna, like, a lot of the times where you kind of just see them kind of casually golfing, where, you know, it's a light work tourney that's on like the major rounds. That's now gonna die out to the point that guys are only gonna be golfing what, 4 or 5 times a year.
Yeah, that's the advantage that what Live has, right?
And Live is only 3-day tournaments too. They're in play 3 rounds.
I could see the PGA Tour maybe cutting back some of its dates. You think maybe?
They have to
go along with the money.
They have. There's no way, because listen, where, like, the PGA, when they're paying you more money for these major tourney wins, where's that money coming from? It's gonna have to come from somewhere. So you're gonna have to cut back on something. So a lot of those little in betweens where, you know, guys kind of show up and they kind of take it as, oh, you know, this is kind of a warm up or whatever. And here's another question I posed to y'all: it was all this, does the Ryder Cup go bye bye? That's another question we gotta ask.
Yeah.
That's why I think PGA will eventually lift their ban.
Yeah. Damien said PGA is dying slowly
But
to Live, like WWE is dying to AEW. He also says NASCAR is already losing to F1. Well, I was saying, Damien, like a U.S. based promotion. I mean, obviously F1's been around forever.
I mean, that is going to make the Ryder Cup interesting. That's a good point.
Yeah, because I forget about that. But we'll see. Like I said, golf is interesting, guys. Look at that. Wow. Who would have ever guessed it, right? Speaking of interesting, oh boy,
oh man,
Damien, I know you got something for this. John Laurinaitis placed on administrative leave. We already know what happened, right, Chris? What do you think? Is the writing on the wall for Johnny Ace here? Is he gone, or what do you think?
I would say he's probably going to be gone.
Yeah, he's
It's
the
kind
fall
of strange he hasn't been around, but Vince McMahon's been there both those shows. So to me, if that board would have put Vince on some kind of administrative leave where he couldn't have been around, they needed to. But yeah, I think that's Laurinaitis is going to be done.
Damien said, finally. Yeah. He said he hadn't been backstage in this week's tapings last Friday either.
Yep.
Well, Vince publicly said he was going to show up on SmackDown. He did. He didn't say nothing really. And then last night he surprised everyone. Showed up on Raw once again. Didn't really say nothing other than, "Hey, John Cena's coming back." Like,
yeah. Which everybody already knew.
Right. Everyone. This wasn't like something brand new. Everyone knew this for weeks now. It's a very weird tactic for Vince. I'll give him that much. I mentioned to you before the show, Chris. I don't know if you've heard Pride, but 5 separate law firms are looking at McMahon now at what all's been going on. I guess he ain't feeling none of the heat, right? He must just be chilling to be doing all this. I mean, I'm expecting him to show up in NXT next week. Maybe go to NXT UK. The way he's going, man, he'll be up on main event.
Bro, he's panicking. He's panicking so much. He's gonna open up Dynamite in 3 weeks.
Oh, perfect. He says that contract says Khan. He says one leaves, 5 more to go. Yeah, it said I think it said Bruce Pritchard's taking over for his role, which hooray.
Yeah.
I think someone said, I forget who it was, someone's like, yeah, I think Vince only knows like 3 people, and those are the 2 of them. But yeah, I think he'll be gone pretty soon. He's not, like I said, it says administrative leave. They'll probably just keep him on till after these investigations are over, you would think, and then they'd get rid of him just as a fall guy for his role in all of this. But I don't think they get to Vince. I don't see. Obviously, he ain't worried about it. So I mean, why should we, right?
I mean, true. Yeah. And here's kind of my whole thing on it. Because as soon as I heard this, I laughed. I really did. Because I'm going to tell you guys exactly what's going to happen.
Okay.
And then when it happens, you can come back and you can call me a revolutionary. Okay? This is what's going to happen. They're going to find something against Vince. And before it breaks, they're going to go up to him. So before the dirt sheets get it, they're already going to have had a conversation with Vince.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be, Vince, this is what we found. What are we going to do here? They're then going to bring John Laurinaitis in, and they're going to look at him and say, John, you're going to take the fall. We're going to fire you. Go to the beach, toss your wife's coconuts around. Okay? Get laid, because you're still a virgin. Okay? Go do your thing. Okay? Then, in the darkness of night, we are going to bring you back. We're not going to announce it, nothing. And in 10 years, when you die, we'll put out a in memory of John Laurinaitis, and everyone's going to be like, oh, wait, he's back? That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to take the fall. Vince is going to convince him to take the fall, and he's going to take it, no problem, because one thing about John Laurinaitis, and that's something that everyone knows, he is blindly loyal to Vince. Why? I don't know, but he is blindly loyal to Vince. So he's going to take the fall.
Same with Pritchard, too. I mean, my God, both of them have been around for 20 years, if not more.
Yeah. Like him, Pritchard, Laurinaitis, and
Kevin
Cole.
Dunn. Yeah, Mike Cole, yeah.
They've been around forever.
Damien said, I can't wait till... Nick Khan's done a whole lot for this company in 2 or 3 years. Hundreds of budget cuts, a lot of investigations. It's interesting. But
yeah, real quick.
It's kind of weird to me, though.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, Logan, before I forget. Because what? He's going to take the fall and then going to bring him back. All they want to do is to make sure Vince's reputation is not tarnished. It'll be sullied, but they don't want it to be tarnished. And if that means John Laurinaitis has to take the fall, so be it. They're going to pin it on him, and John Laurinaitis is going to be happy about it because they'll take a vacation, come back, and then everyone's going to, all this is going to blow over. Because again, the big part we need to remember, this was not an assault.
Right.
That's one of the big things. So it's not a situation like Deshaun where you kind of got to worry about leaving him in the same room with the trainer. You ain't got to worry about that with Vince. You know, it's just a situation where well, you stole money from the company. So
Chris, we got your dad chiming in here saying record profits. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Damien said, question, can the board make the McMahon family sell the company like the NFL is making Dan Snyder sell the Commanders? Can they? I know like Stephanie is on the board. I know that much. But I don't know if they can make him sell it per se.
I don't know. I think the board could vote him out.
Yeah, it just depends on who's on it, honestly. You know what I mean? Like,
I think there's something like that, but he's the majority owner.
Right. He owns majority of it, so we'll see. But no, I was saying,
especially when it hasn't. I mean, we don't know what he's done. If anything he's done has been illegal yet or not either.
Yeah, I mean they could uncover something. They really could. But isn't it kind of weird that I don't know? It's just weird to me that he's coming out on these shows and everyone is just giving him standing ovations and bowing to him and just cheering their hearts out. It feels kind of just off-putting to me. I don't know about y'all.
I think a lot of it is because of the Mr. McMahon character.
Right.
I think that's what it is. Just the way he's always been, and I don't know.
What do you think, Pride? Oh well. Like I said, yeah. There's a lot going on in wrestling right now. A lot more stuff went on today that we're going to get to on Thursday, like the Deshaun Watson case. How a lot of those got dropped. We'll talk more about that in depth on Thursday. But we are at our final thoughts now for tonight. We're wrapping things up early tonight, keeping it easy on Tuesday. Gonzo, what you got for final thoughts? Anything you want to say before we leave tonight?
A lot of baseball on the night if you're a baseball fan. A lot of baseball. Sir. With college baseball, and I think there's like 13 or 14 MLB games. So I'm watching Reds and Dodgers right now. And I know we keep saying it's kind of slow time for sports, but you got the NBA draft on Thursday as well. So that'd be something we'll be able to talk about as well on Thursday.
Yeah, we'll be event goes live at 8, so we'll be be around there for at least a couple of picks. And it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, a bunch of baseball news. Yankees first team to 50 wins so far this season. Absolutely just killing it. Like I said, our team's right. They got Boston, who's trying to work their way up. We talked about Jeter Downs a little bit earlier. Pride. We got – what do you think about him? What do you think he's going to do? You think he's going to help out this? Chris thinks he's only going to be up for a series, and they put him back down. Because he ain't really hitting that much.
Well, the reason I say that is because I read a report about that he's just filling in until they get a couple of guys back from injuries.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Yes and no. So, because I was talking to one of my friends who, he kind of knows. They're bringing him up, and this is his trial period. If he shows up, then he's taking the spot, and he's taking someone's spot. Mm-hmm. However, if he's kind of just okay, or if he's kind of just, seems like he could use a little bit of work or whatever, they're going to send it back down. Yeah. So all of it really comes down to, like I said, they're going to give him the opportunity. They're going to give him the chance to, prove he belongs, which honestly he feels like he should have been given the opportunity, so they're going to give it to him. But he has a legitimate chance of, being able to keep a spot in that lineup. They give him the opportunity. Because remember, they did the same thing, I think it was last year, with Durant.
Yeah.
They did the same exact thing last year with Durant, which is why he ended up getting some good opportunities. So
he's great defensively. He's great defensively. He just gets a little bit better hitting the ball more consistent. He's going to be tough because he's.
Yeah, I told Chris, I said if he can hit 260, 270, I mean he'll be fine. It's just he's hitting a little bit below that right now.
And he has good speed.
Yeah, he's got good speed. He's stolen a bunch of bags. He's great in the field. If he can just get that average up and maybe cut down some of the strikeouts, he'll be fine. I mean, he strikes out a ton, but you can always cut down on that. Also, too, in baseball, Chris, congrats. The Reds are no longer the worst record in baseball. That currently belongs to, let me check here. Yes, it is. The Oakland Athletics, 23-45, good for .338 winning percentage. I believe the Reds are in 4th, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, the Nationals 343. The Reds have 348 for their win percentage. So
the Reds have actually played good after that 1-23 start. Once that,
I would say after that collapse already, y'all been working.
Well, me and Dad was talking about it last night. Where if they just got off to a decent start,
right, not
they
that
they would be right in the hunt for the division right now. They'd be maybe 4 or 5 games back.
Right, but yeah, it's just hard to make up that.
Yeah, you get down 22 games like that, it's like you're screwed.
Yeah, it is a big hole to climb out of. Damien said, speaking of WWE, did y'all see the Photoshop? They Photoshopped a picture with a fan carrying a Sasha poster. I did see that. I think they took a still image or a video or something, and during the live feed, like during the live show, someone had a Sasha Banks sign, and in that photo or in that replay clip, it's just a whiteboard. Like they just erased it completely.
When last night?
Yes, I believe so on Raw. Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so
I haven't seen that yet.
Just a lot of petty stuff going on, right? But hey, it is what it is. Pride, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
I'm never ever betting my hair again. I regret shaving my head, but I did it for the boys. We'll be back.
You have been saving a lot on hair shampoo, I'm sure.
Maybe, perhaps. I don't shower. I'm dirty. So.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. I'm an idiot for saying that out loud. I regret nothing.
Hey, but we appreciate you going through with it, though. That is a top tier. Like you have earned everyone's respect here.
He had Jay fired up about what he was saying. He wouldn't go to cut his hair. He was getting Jay fired up. I was cracking up.
And I didn't want him to get mad at me. So that's why that's why I told you about it.
That's like your dad getting mad at you, probably. You can't have that. But all right, everyone. Well, if you guys has enjoyed the show tonight, thank you all so much for chiming in. Damien, our boy, we appreciate the support. Jay, hope you're doing good on the road. Hope you enjoy your trip. Jay's gonna be gone for quite some time, so it's just gonna be me holding it down with our boys here. We got Chris, we got Pride, whoever else wants to join, Frankie, whatever day he wants to show up, is all good. But hey, until Thursday, let's say we go live 7 o'clock Tuesdays, Thursdays, 8 o'clock Saturdays from the All Sports All Plays Network to Unscripted. All my guests here tonight, Chris and Pride. I've been your host, your moderator, your producer, Logan Landers. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you again on Thursday, 7 o'clock.
I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free, cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free, cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. It's kush. I love me too much and your brain turn to mush. Fall flat on your tush. You couldn't handle the product I push. I guess I'm just used to it, I just do it. Like Nike swoosh, none of that Reggie Bush, cause I'm top shelf. I ain't got wealth, but I'm on my grind like park rails. I'd sell the shoes right off my 2 feet, then add one, that's a yard sale. Got dumb bars that be smarter than Harvard, Yale. Take your pictures elsewhere, you wanna be TMZ, I wanna be VIP. Quit pandering, I'm not answering, cause I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free, cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. I don't wanna hear any more small talk. Off that short pier, take a long walk. My style ain't free, cause it ain't off top. I'm at your throat, go get a cough drop. All of that bark and no bite, that's alright. Not everyone can be the big dog. Take a walk, kick rocks, can't keep me out cause I pick locks. They hearing me knocking, I'll never be stopping. I keep